Would you believe me if I said 1973 changed the way we would handle important information about people? Hello, my name is Claude Terrell Hankins, a cybersecurity graduate student at Grand Canyon University. Today I will be giving an informational presentation on the Fair Information Practice Principles, better known as FIPPs. With the objectives of FIPPs, I will explain the key components that will make up the Fair Information Practice Principles. I will explain how FIPS compares to other privacy frameworks, and I will describe how FIPS can be beneficial in protecting personal identifiable information and how federal agencies can use them as well. What are FIPS? The standards were created in 1973 but published by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, better known as OECD, and other countries agreed on the principles. The goal is to safeguard personal privacy information while maintaining a safe way to gather privacy records. FIPS is a set of foundational privacy principles organizations use to protect personal data information. The core principles of FIPS include transparency, individual participation, purpose specification, data minimization, use limitation, data quality and integrity, security, and accountability and auditing. I will be going into detail further into this presentation about all of the core principles of FIPS. With transparency of FIPS, consumers have the right to easily accessible and understandable information about their privacy. With transparency, it requires a clear communication about data practices. Transparency also encourages individuals to participate in decision making about the personal data. And transparency ensures organizations will be accountable for the privacy data that they handle. Individual participation in FIPS includes this is the part of um, the principles that emphasizes individuals have the right to be actively involved in the management of their personal data. They have the right to challenge, the right to obtain, the right to be involved with anything surrounding their data. And an example of this individual participation is with HIPAA and how individuals have the right to privacy with their information. Purpose specification in FIPS. This is the part of the Fair Information Practice Principles that gives a reason of how and why personal identifiable information is being used. The key objectives include the prevention of misuse of the data that's collected. The key elements include clarity, limitation of use, and notification to the individuals of their data being used. And a notable implementation of purpose specification is the Privacy Act that was created in 1974. It changed how data was handled and used for individuals. Data minimization in FIPS includes this is the part of FIPS that emphasizes how data being collected and used has a specific purpose. The key objectives include organizations have to be intentional with the personal data that they collect and have to have a purpose. Security measures have to be in place to ensure that that data is protected, and the regulatory alignment of this of the data minimization ensures that the data standards align with other frameworks as well. Use limitation in FIPS is the mandate organizations follow that restricts personal information to only be used for the intended purpose that it has. The key objectives of use limitation in FIPS include the restriction and release of personal information outside of the organization, and individuals must consent to their data being shared beyond its intended purpose. Data quality and integrity in FIPS is when organizations are responsible for making sure that data on an individual is accurate and has meaning in its purpose. The key objectives include that quality and integrity will be administered from start to finish throughout the data's life cycle. There will be regular monitoring that will take place to ensure that the quality and prevention of breaches is held up. This will also ensure that unauthorized users can't have access to the data. With security in FIPS, this refers to the implementation of safeguards to keep data protected. The key objectives include the safeguards to keep information from being stolen or lost, the implementation of access controls for access to the data, safety measures such as encryption, access control, and regular monitoring, as well as data integrity for accountability. Accountability and auditing in FIPS is the principles for compliance standards pertaining to privacy law. The key objectives include compliance monitoring to ensure data is handled safely. The personnel who has access to the data is trained on how to handle it. Records are in tip-top shape to ensure that compliance is being met. And effective auditing is a plus when it comes to compliance. When it comes to comparing FIPS to other privacy frameworks, although FIPS does not have any legal requirements, other privacy frameworks were created because of the standards that was set with FIPS. FIPS laid the foundation for others such as the European Union's GDPR and the California Consumer Protection Act. Since FIPS does not have any legal foundation, other frameworks, their difference is being able to levy fines and penalties with a violation of the Consumer Protection Act. When it comes to the protection of personal identifiable information, FIPS provides a guide for others to follow. FIPS promotes transparency, limits the scope of data collection, and holds organizations accountable for their handling of data. Having FIPS standards in place also help provide a level of trust, minimizes risk, and maintains legal and ethical standards for protecting personal data. Here are a list of sources used for this assignment. Thanks for your time, and I hope you've learned more about the Fair Information Practice Principles. Thank you.